Let's speak about the modes of operation. So those were modes of deployment: layer 2, layer 3 mode, router or transparent. By default, the ASA runs in a router mode. Now ASA supports two modes of operation. It's called single context, which is the default, and multiple context, which is user configurable. Now multiple context is nothing else but is going to allow you for a pseudo virtualization of the firewall. What's going to end up happening is that the physical box, the firewall itself, resources like the CPU, memory, number of NAT entries, number of ACL entries, everything, all of the performance of the firewall is going to be shared. All of the resources are going to be shared between contexts, and of course those are configurable. You can configure, for example, if the router supports, let's say, I don't know, 100 ACL entries or 1,000 ACL entries, you may reserve 800 for a specific context and 200 for other context, because you know that in different contexts you need different performances. And each context is going to be, in essence, represent in essence a firewall by itself. It's going to have its own access policies, its own routing policies, its own NAT policies. So it's like a pseudo virtualization of the firewall. In which use case you need this, it's a lot of use cases. But for example, one common one is going to be for the ISPs. Like assuming this is a ISP providing firewall services to its customer. This is ISP firewall. And facing that direction is going to be the internet. Facing this direction is going to be the customers. It's a service provider which provides some services to its clients, including firewall services. And they're going to have customer 1, customer 2, let's say, and customer 3. And you want to provide them filtering firewall policies to and from the internet as they desire with that firewall of yours. It's going to be customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3. Now, first of all, having to configure all of the firewall policies like routing, NAT, access list, advanced filtering, having to do all of those configurations within a single firewall is going to become, first of all, very difficult to manage. Second, though, you got to make sure that you don't provide routing back and forth between the clients, because you may not want to do that. And third of all, what if you want to allow each client to actually manage its own firewall? You're not going to be able to do that because it's one common firewall. So for that reason, you're going to go ahead and run your firewall in multi-context mode. You go on your green firewall and run it in multi-context mode. And you're going to create one context per client. You're going to create one context per client. In my case, I need only 3 contexts. This is going to be context 1 for client 1, context 2 for client 2, and context 3 from client 3. And each of those 3 contexts is going to have its own routing policies, NAT policies, filtering policies, everything. It's going to behave like a virtual firewall within one physical box. So what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to configure all firewall policies for customer 1 in context 1, all customer policies for customer 2 in context 2, and all firewall policies for customer 3 in context 3. And also because each of those 3 contexts is going to represent a virtual firewall by itself, you can even allow each client to connect to its own virtual firewall, if you want to call it that way, and manage it, because maybe you don't want to also provide configuration services. You may just want to provide the box itself, but they're going to be in charge to build their own policies, each of them. So with this configuration, each of them can actually connect to its own firewall and manage only its own firewall, and they're not going to be able to see their configurations in between. Of course, the ISP is going to be able to manage all contexts, but each client is going to be able to manage only its own context, and also the firewall policies are going to be totally separated, virtual, let's say logically separated through the virtualization concept or the multi-context. It's not per se a virtualization. I'm just saying it in this way to be easier to explain and hopefully for you to understand.